This is just a little follow-up from the Philips TV that I really enjoyed repairing. Don't know why I enjoyed repairing it. Some you do, some you don't. But somebody said in the comments, you know, that strip that was faulty, you can repair it, you know. Well, yes, you can repair it. I mean, it had burnt out. But sometimes if I'm waiting for a customer or waiting for a lottery win, we tend to repair these things. Right, so I had 10 minutes the other day and I decided just to make a little video of me repairing it. So if you haven't seen the video for the Philips 49-inch TV, no, it was a 47, wasn't it? I can't remember the model number. But it was a bit of fun. It's a really nice TV. It was a really nicely designed TV. And even though it was getting on for 6 years old, maybe 7 years old, could be, it only had one LED, which had not necessarily, well, it could have shorted out, and that's possibly why it burnt up. Some of them do. And it burnt well into the track, as you can see here, because there's a lot of soot and there's a lot of debris from the burnout. But I'm doing my best to clean it, and I'll stick in another LED. We've got plenty of LEDs. These are just the 3-volt. 1 watt. I think I got that the right way round. Yes, I did. 3 volts, 1 watt, and they're pretty much the standard, or they were the standard a few years ago. Different LEDs are now being used. So all I'm going to do for this is bridge over a couple of, well, it's not even a couple of centimetres, it's probably 1 centimetre. I don't know how much you can see. But there's a little bit of the track poking up that I've got to play with, so I can just tin that little bit. I've got a funny feeling that will be the positive side of the track. No, I could be wrong. No, it's not. That's the negative side of the track. But anyway, by the by, just get a little bit of solder on, tin it. You can't use too much solder when doing this, because you're lifting the LED up then if you put too much solder on. And if the LED is lifted up, even by a little bit of extra solder, that means it's going to be beaming, pointing in the wrong direction. And that can cause a bit of a halo, bit of a shadow when it comes to sticking back on the lens cover on the top. So anyway, just folding a bit of wire over here, so I'm doubling up with a little bit of wire that I've pinched from, I don't know, you've got several wires, so I've used 1 thread of wire from it, and I'm bending it back, and I'm just going to put a little bit of tin on that, and that will act as a contact to the negative side, the ground side if you like, of the LED. And as soon as that's got a bit of tin on it, and again, just wicking off any extra solder, because you've got to have the LED as flat as possible, which is always a bit difficult after it's been burnt up. But try and get it as flat as possible. Then pick up one of the 3-volt LEDs, put it into place, get a little bit of solder on it, and with a bit of luck, I mean, the thing you have to be patient with is that it's not necessarily the soldering side. The soldering side is always fun. Love soldering, but being patient is the gluing side, because there are 2 things you have to put back down. You have to put on the little reflector sticker, so we're just sticking the LED in here. This is just that it is a brand new LED going in, which is a bit of a waste because this strip will not get used. But sometimes if I'm testing out a soldering iron, or if I'm testing new solder, I'll look for something to use. And anyway, after the glue settled and the little reflector strip going on, and then the lens going on top, and leaving it for a good half an hour, leaving the lens, usually put something on top of the lens to weigh it down, and I'm just giving it a test here, and it's now working again. It looks a bit messy, but of course it doesn't make any difference to the picture. Anyway, back to my lapel mic now, because I've just found the USB stick. As always, it was right in front of me. Somebody else mentioned in the comments that Philips remote that didn't work. A lot of great comments this week. You can fix it, you know. Yeah, we tried. We gave it a good clean and checked the chips, but nah. And then as luck would have it, and sometimes you do get lucky in this business, I managed to find another Philips remote. It was right in front of me, as things always are in this workshop. So this is the video I was getting round to, and I'll let you into a spoiler alert. It doesn't turn out the way I wanted it to. I was going to dismantle this TV because the screen is US. It's a nice 37-inch Samsung. It's from the D range. It's not one of the horrible D5220s that always starts to reboot. This is the D5000 with an excellent screen. An excellent screen. Sadly, this screen, not so excellent because it has lines on it. And so I was making a video of turning this into a studio light because I could just do with one more studio light. There's a little patch on my workbench which is not as bright as I need it to be. So I've put a little shelving up. I've put some brackets up to fix this TV up there because I got this TV from the recycling centre and I plugged it in the week. And there were 2 or 3 lines down one side of it. So I thought I'd do a video on, taking the screen out, taking out the main board. The main board for these, by the way, going for about 70, 80 quid on eBay. So I thought I'd take the main board out and just use the power board to power up the backlights and have a bright white studio light. That was my plan. But when testing this, as I'm doing here, I could not find the lines. And I thought I could, but on further inspection, as you will see, there's just no line. Now, I've had this problem before, where I've seen lines on a TV set and they've disappeared. In fact, I've had a beautiful 55-inch Sony that had a couple of lines, so I sold it to somebody really cheap, and they got in contact with me the other day saying the lines had gone. Anyway, so I thought I could see something there, but I'm not convinced because when I saw the lines last time, they were very prominent. I mean, you really could see them. And I'm pretending that I'm seeing things here and I can't see the lines. So I think what I need to do is to hook this up to, my snooker or my little Blu-ray player, just to see if the lines are there. So hang on. I'm just going to go into the menu here for a second and have a look, and I will choose the picture option which they give, which is here. And I mean, I know you can see the picture pulsating a bit, but that's just coming through the monitor. Just where I've touched, there's where I thought the lines were. Okay, let's try the snooker. The lines have disappeared. Now this can happen. What gets lines in the first place on a TV is the TV either becoming extremely dry. Hang on, let me check this. Lines there? No. If the TV is extremely dry and the contacts start to break down, not much you can do about that. But also if you've left the TV in a damp place, or if you've carried it outside and I've just had a couple of drips of rain which have dropped down onto the contacts at the bottom of the screen, and they've caused lines, but it's just causing a bit of a short, and when it dries up they go away. And I think because I picked this TV up from the recycling centre, it had been left out in the rain for a bit and the damp, and I've picked it up and put it in a dry place, and my workshop is dry and it's warm at the best of times. So that means I can't have my studio light now because I'm not going to throw away this screen. This screen is okay. I'll keep testing it, and if the lines come back, then I'll turn it into the workshop light I want to. But when the lines were very prominent, you could tell. I'm sure I did start to film them, but I would have got rid of that footage now. So it's kind of good news because the TV is working and it's fine and it's too good to throw. But it means my 37-inch bracket that I've just made for the workshop is not going to work. So has anybody got a 38-inch TV? Has to be a Samsung, so I can just have the backlights on without the main board. What a waste. Oh well, thanks for watching.